Hello world, Stephen Michael Zach here, and today we have the Amaran 150C. That's right, we are doing it. This will cost you $360 at the time of the recording of this video. Now, I did buy this with my own money, so these are going to be my own brutal and honest opinions as always. So, let's take a look at what comes inside the box. My own brutal and honest opinions as always. This is new to me. Now, let's take a look at the 150, and as you can see, Amaran is not giving up on these foam cases. These can ship very easily. I see these getting smashed to pieces, so definitely look for either a Pelican case or hopefully somebody will make a case for this like they did for the 100 and 200 series. But as you can see with the box here, I got a nice carrying handle, nice and plastic. You can't just slide this off. You will have to actually break this seal. So we'll go ahead and carefully pull the seal here. Okay, so opening this thing up, as you can see, it is injection molded. Now, they did leave a lot more space, so you don't have to roll this stuff up perfectly. They gave you a little bit more space than they did in the 100, which is fantastic. But you're going to get a very nice reflector, and I do like that the foam feels much better in here. It feels like there's much more quality. Get all your instructions and all that fun stuff. Then you're going to get a piece of foam here, and you're going to get your cord and your power bank. And again, they just give you this little strappy thing to hang it by. This feels very, feels like an interesting bit of plastic. It feels a little bit more budget than some of their others. It's a little bit more slippery and fingerprinty, as you can see, but it's fine. And again, you do get pretty much that's it. You do get the XLR here, and it is again not. You do get the locking cable, which I really like. So all in all, not bad. There is no cradle or any quarter 20s to hang this by, so keep that in mind. And finally, you're going to get the light itself here. Now again, this light is made out of plastic. I do like the. Whoops, and that happened.
A few moments later.
Okay, now that the cap is back on, let's talk a little bit about the build quality here. Now, it is made of plastic, but one thing I wanted to point out, Brandon did forget to put this in the video when I interviewed him at NAB, and I was going to include this, but I figured I'd just show it to you now. They have a brand new metal mount, which is fantastic. A redesigned handle, which feels great. It is plastic, but it feels solid, and it is a disc system. Little noisy, but it is a disc system. Feels great. Thank you for not putting in a ratchet system. All of I'm sure by now everybody who watches my videos knows that I hate when they put those grooves in so you can't quite point the light where you want it. This is a fantastic upgrade from the 200 and 100 series. It is great. It is all metal. It is smooth. Great job, Amaran. You also get an umbrella holder. You get a very nice connecting knob. Everything feels premium. You get these lovely handles at the back so you can adjust the lights via the handles. This thing's got some nice curves on it. Again, is plastic, but again, it is a content creator budget-friendly light, so that's okay. More and more lights are going plastic just to cut down on weight. Now you do have a brand new quick release here, which actually feels much better. I really do like this thicker button here. Let's go ahead and slap on the dish. Again, the dish is actually gray, it's not black, which is interesting. I guess to match the aesthetic. And we'll go ahead and lock this in. And there is quite a bit of play here. Not that you're going to be Hollywooding this or moving around, but just know that there's a little bit of play. But again, this is not a light you're going to be moving around, so it's going to be stationary. You do get a screen over the array there, so over the COBs. So again, no bugs are going to burn onto your light when they are flying around and you're shooting outside. And this is all metal, so you're good. You've got your connection at the bottom, and you've got a hard on-off switch. Thank you again, Amaran. Y'all know how I like these hard on-off switches rather than the push button. And let's swing around to the back. We have these pressy knobs. These actually feel really good. They do not feel cheap at all. You have your lighting and mode button, and then you have your CCT green magenta shift, hue, saturation, all your controls here. Everything feels pretty good. You've got a clicky button there for your Bluetooth reset and a screen. All in all, very, very, very nice. Very cool. Let's go ahead and power this thing on and take a look at the controls. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip this on. And as you can see, very nice. Now, one thing I will say is that the screen is actually hard to see at angles, which is very surprising for an aputure product. When it's up like this, I actually can't see the screen. So that is something to be aware of, that the screen is not great on angle. Only when I'm facing it directly can I see it. Okay, so let's take a look at the controls. Of course, this knob does control your brightness here, and this controls your color temperature. Now, this goes up to 7,500 and all the way down to 2,500. There is no quick button, so you will have to turn this, but it does go fairly quick, and this goes all the way down to 0, which is very nice. We'll keep this at a nice maybe 15%. And you can click this button and go down to your plus minus green. It goes up to 10 plus minus green, which is very nice. So you do have green magenta shift. And all the controls are really snappy here. So you get to things pretty quickly, which I really, really like. Next, we'll go ahead and change the lighting mode, and you'll go into your HSI. And of course, you have your brightness knob here. And of course, you have your color temperature here. Let's go to, actually it's on saturation now. I believe if you press that in, it goes to hue. And let's go to my favorite hue, which is 240. And here we are at 240. And if we want to adjust the saturation, we press in this and we can desaturate it a whole bunch or not. I usually don't desaturate this. So there you go, very easy to use. Pressing the button again, we go into back into the CCT mode here. Okay, so here we are at 100% power, and just take a look at the edges here. Now, there is a bit of ringing on the edges, but not too bad with the dish on, and you do get a hot spot here. And again, indicative of this dish, you are getting some multiple shadowing, but that is to be expected. And here we are with the dish off, and as you can see, this is very nice, has very nice fall off. You're not getting any light bleed. So all in all, not bad. This looks really good. So there you go. And checking out the colors all look beautiful and vibrant. They do not look bad at all. They do not look like they are horribly saturated in any way. Very, very, very nice array of colors here. You even can get pretty close to a yellow, which is very, very nice. Yellow is always hard, but you can get a yellow color, which is pretty cool because you don't get that in a lot of lights. But this seems to have no problem giving you any color that you need. Very cool, very nice, very vibrant. Now, one last thing I did want to mention here is the fan noise. There is none. This thing is super duper quiet. And the reason is, which was explained to me by Brandon at NAB, is the fact that they made the body a little bit bigger so they could put in a bigger fan that would spin slower, creating less noise. And it does the job. There's a giant heatsink in here, a much bigger, slower moving fan. So the noise is fantastic out of this thing. You're not going to really hear anything. So again, another thing that I really love about this light. Okay, so let's talk pros and cons here. Now, let's start off with the cons from the front. Yes, the dish does have a little bit of play. Not a deal breaker. I'm not going to be Hollywooding this thing. The second downside is there is no V-mount option. It's XLR only, and you get this very, very, very slippery pack here. And again, you just get this little metal hanging cable. It's nice. It is a safety cable, but I really wish there was a 1/4-20 or some kind of harness to put this into. So I will have to come up with something because I'm not a fan of just these hangy things. That is that. Again, there are no special effects in here. Wait, did I just say this doesn't have special effects? Well, that's not entirely true. All you have to do is go to your Situs Link app, and we'll spin this around and hit the Bluetooth reset here. Then, once that is done, we'll give this another spin around, and we'll tap new fixtures here, and it finds it immediately. Now, why this is reading it as a bulb. It does have a picture of a bulb, which is very odd, but it is this light. So go ahead and hit setup, and we'll wait for Cytoslink to load in the light itself. We'll press OK, and now we'll go into the fixtures here. And let's go into special effects, and let's go ahead and let's select our faulty bulb here. And as you can see, you do get full special effects with the Cytoslink app. You get things like the lightning. We can go to the fire. It all works very, very nicely. Also, let's go ahead to color here. And yes, you can use color as well, which is very nice. And last but not least, we can use the actual color picker here. Let's go ahead and press the color picker, and let's pick the color, and there you go. So definitely you have full control over this. You do get some gels like CCT gels and tungsten gels. So there are some gels in here as well, which you can go ahead and throw up. And the other trick with this is when you turn this off, it will hold your setting. So when you turn it back on, it goes to what you had it at last. Let's make this brighter. Let's make this more tungsten-y. Let's turn it off. And as you can see, you are right back where you started. And finally, again, the screen, when it tilts forward and backwards, it is hard to see. So they obviously went with a cheaper screen. I don't understand why, but just know that you may have to resort to using Cytoslink in order to see what power that's on, because you do, when you tilt forward and backwards, you do lose the screen, which is unfortunate. Now, let's talk about the things that I liked about this light, the pros, and starting with the fact that you do get a protective glass over the COB. You have this very nice, newly designed quick release here for the Bowens mount, which works beautifully. And thank you, Aputure, for giving us an all-metal mount. This thing is absolutely beautiful. It is a handbrake system, a disc system. Anywhere you want to put it, you're gonna be able to point it. It is not one of those ratchet systems that makes it very difficult to point it exactly where you want it. And the handle feels really nice, even though it's plastic. It feels pretty solid. The rest of this is all metal. You do get an umbrella holder, which is nice. And the knob down here feels premium as well. So very nice job on the mount. A far improvement from the old 200 that I had that was very clicky, and it didn't have metal inside, so it ran the chance of actually breaking. You could see that review right there. I'll put it up on the screen. Very nice. Now the next thing is they gave us some very premium, very nice buttons here. These feel really good, and they're snappy, they're fast. You get to what you need to very fast, so just know that you will have to go slow and in small increments, because this thing is snappy as all that. So very cool. Really nice. I like the fact that the power connector comes out of the bottom. I love the fact that yes, you do get a hard on-off switch. Thank you for that. That is fantastic. Even the umbrella holder knob feels good. And that is it. Pretty darn cool. Again, you're getting the Aputure light quality and everything that they have to offer inside this nice budget light. Now, I will say one other con is the fact that I am still not a fan of this case. Yes, they did give us a little space so we don't have to roll the cords and everything up precisely. They just gave us a big opening. But I will tell you right away that the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to be throwing this around on set and pieces are going to chip off of this. But that is the way that they are keeping the price down, which I'm fine with. Hopefully in the future, somebody will make a case, or you can go out and just find a sort of a semi-hard shell or a Pelican case and put this in. But all in all, not bad. Very impressed. This is a much needed improvement over the 100 and 200 series. And I'm going to say, I guess this is kind of the replacement for the 120D, but the budget version. But all in all, very nice. They did a really nice job in this. I'm very impressed. So Those are my thoughts, but I want to know yours. So leave your questions and comments in the notes below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to mash the bell button to be notified when we drop a brand new video. And feel free to use links below as it helps out the channel. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and this is New to Me.